We actually have a successful Vanquish Soul deck for you today. And is that Cubics along with some other interesting goodies? Yes, it is. Don't beg the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Yes, that is Vanquish Soul. Out of all of the archetypes here, I didn't think the Vanquish Soul would be the one to see competitive value, but at this point in filming this video, I have seen two Vanquish Soul decks actually make it to success here. So that's quite impressive, honestly. So, alright, so we have the one Kaiser Varius, one copy of the Heavy Borger, we have one Jurisworm with one Magna Hut and one Baldric, still got to play the Bice deals for the format. We have triple copies of Soul Rosin, we have triple copies of Panthera, and then we have triple copies of Dr. Madlove. Then we got triple Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, triple copies of Maxi, with one copy of Rhoda. We have triple copies of Stake Your Soul, triple copies of your Dark Roll No More for generic board break. It's actually pretty good. 2 Pot of Prosperity for filtering. 1 Call by the Grave with, or excuse me, 2 Call by. Your 1 copy of Vanquish Soul Continue. 2 copies of Dust Devil. 2 copies of Durandal, because, I mean, searching for a level 5 or lower, fire warrior monster. You know, we're meeting the requirements here to get into Soul Rosin, which is pretty good. We also have triple Imperm and 1 copy of the Trinity Burst. Now in the extract we have 2 of the Link 1. We have 1 copy of Azalea, 1 Donner with 1 Nightmare Phoenix. We have 1 Borbo, 1 Chakanine, 1 Hammer Kong with 1 Tiger Mortar, 1 Ptolemaeus, 1 Exciton, 1 Dolteros, 1 Constellar Night Diamond, 1 Zeus, and 1 Chaos Angel. And then we have 1 Doggeron, 1 Radion with 1 Kumamungus, 2 copies of Dimension Shifter, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Talents, 1 Thrust, triple Evenly, and triple copies of There Can Only Be One. Wrapping up your Vanquish Soul good stuff. Very, very interesting. Next up here is Cubics. Let's take a moment to still greatly appreciate the fact that even though Cubics have not functionally done anything in how long at this point, that you still see this deck continue to show itself in the metagame. I think that's actually pretty impressive. I do like the fact that every time we do see a new iteration of this deck, it's just kind of cool to see the ideas and things that players are bringing to the table just to make the adjustments to bring this up to par. Now, I mean, still remember the fact that this guy is unaffected by the activated effects of monsters whose original attack is 3,000 or less, and it burns each player for 3k during the end phase. You know, for a 4-card combo, it still impresses me at how easy that this is to pull off. Especially you can roll out 2 of these. Oh man, the high roll of the high roll, I suppose. So we have triple copies of Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord, triple copies of Aduza, the Meteor Cubic Vessel. We have 1 copy of Indoria, 1 copy of Bustork Undala, 1 copy of Gyra Goli, and then we have, of course, the 1 V-Jom, 2 V-Jom, 3 V-Jom. Honestly, best card in the deck. We have 1 Ultimate Slayer with 2 copies of Lightning Storm. Your 1 Harpy's Feather Duster with triple copies of Cubic Wave. We have 1 Thrust with 2 copies of Foolish Real Goods. 1 Odd Ice Fusion with triple Extrav. 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. 2 copies of Called by the Grave with 2 Super Poly. We have 1 Cubic Dharma. Triple copies of Cubic Karma. 1 copy of Ascension. 2 copies of Unification. And 1 Red Reboot. And then we got 1 Underclock. 2 Odd Eyes Rebellion. 1 Gustav with 1 Mudmud, 2 Anintis, your 1 Draco Stapelia, 2 Supreme, 2 Regular, 2 Odd Eyes Venom, and 1 Crimson Nova. Wrapping up the Cubics. Very, very interesting take, honestly. Next up here, we have Heroes. Now, I will tell you, for the most part here, a lot of these hero decks feel very, very generic. And that's just kind of like the times that you face in this game, because you don't get a lot of creativity in the current rendition of Heroes, but that's not to say that this deck is bad. It's just in a very unique place right now in terms of the metagame that it feels very fleshed out already. I mean, this particular build is going to be, you kind of roll out Dark Law and hope for the best. But once again, I mean, that's very reflective of the format that we're already seeing here, that, you know, such a card already devastates the format as it is. So definitely makes sense here. So we have 1 copy of Neos, 1 copy of Honest Neos, 2 copies of Malicious with 1 Forest, just 1 Forest, by the way. We have 2 copies of Stratos with 1 Liquid Soldier, 2 copies of Shadow Mist with 2 copies of Vion. We have 1 Denier with 1 Increase, 2 Ash with triple copies of Maxi, and Triple Hero Lives, 2 copies of Poly with 1 Talents, 1 Rhoda with 1 Thrust, 1 Miracle Fusion with your 1 Fusion Destiny, triple copies of Mass Change, 2 copies of Call by the Grave, triple copies of Droplet, 1 Crossout Designator, 1 Imperm, and 1 Favorite Contact. And then we have 1 Cross Guy, 1 Wonder Driver with 1 Dread Decimator. We have 1 copy of Dangerous, 1 copy of Blast, 2 copies of Dark Law, 1 Sunrise, 1 copy of the Infernal Rage. We have 1 Trinity with 1 Absolute Zero, 1 DP, 1 Acid, 1 Shining Neo Swingman, and 1 Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Then we have 2 copies of Lancia, 2 Ghostbell, triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Dark Ruler No More, 2 copies of Exceed Encore, and 1 Evenly Matched here. Wrapping up the interesting take here for Heroes. I do like what we are seeing here, yet again, in terms of metagame development. Good stuff. Next up is Libromancer. What? This good card right here. We'll be getting this here in the near future, which actually helps out this deck immensely. When this card's activated, you can set a Libromancer spell and trap card directly from your deck, except for a copy of the self. Alright, so they don't want you bulking down on these. Libromancer Ritual Monster Control, gain attack equal to their level times 100. So you're going to get, I mean, for the ritual, like 400 boost, 500 on Mr., you know, big old Doom, or 600 on Doom Broker. It's actually pretty good. And then if a ritual monster's ritual summon to your field and target 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use this effect of this once per turn. You can only activate 1 per turn. Honestly, the attack buff isn't anything too crazy, but it's definitely very apparent that they do not want you bulking up on these. Once again, 100% understandable in terms of just what you can get for the good stuff here. So we have 1 copy of good old Vanity's Roll. You already know the fact you can search for this off of Ben 10. Always going to be a staple. We have 1 Libromancer Agent, triple copies of Libromancer Fire with 1 Magic Girl, triple copies of Geek Boy with triple copies of Ash Blossom. We also have triple copies of Diviner the Herald, triple copies of Maxi, 1 copy for the Orange Light. We're also playing 1 copy of Angel 01. Special summon this card from hand by revealing a level 7 or higher monster from your hand. You only special summon 1 of these per turn this way, and then while you control a special summon card, you can tribute to summon 1 level 7 or higher monster in attack position during your main phase in addition to your normal summoner set. Yeah, Angel 01 combos with the Vanity's Ruler here because Fairy. It's kind of cool. We have 1 Doom Broker with 2 Ben 10s, 1 Misty Girl with 2 Pot of Prosperity, 2 copies of Prep, 2 Call By, 2 Emergency Teleport, 2 Origin, triple copies of First Appearance, triple Impermanent, 1 Intervention. Then we have 1 IP, 1 Elf, 1 Dynamond, 1 Unicorn with 1 Apo, 1 Axis Machine, 1 Griffin, 1 Avermax, 1 Gigantic Spray, 1 Zeus, triple Herald, and 2 copies of Anintis here, wrapping up the power of Libromancer. On the last list here, we have Purrely, sporting off a Shaddoll package this week. I have loved watching the evolutions that this deck has gone through. It showcases that there are so many ideas that you can mess around with for this deck that it mind boggles me, I think, that you have so many cool things. So we have 1 Shaddoll Beast with 1 Squamata. We have 1 Mudora with 1 copy of Keldo, 1 copy of Hedgehog with triple Maxi. We have triple Purrely with triple Purrely Lily. We have 2 copies of Talents, 1 Thrust, triple Dark Ruler No More, 2 Pot of Prosperity with triple Sleepy Memory, triple copies of Pretty Memory, triple copies of Delicious Memory, triple copies of Happy Memory, triple copies of My Friend, 2 copies of the Purrely Street, and 1 Leap. And then we have 1 Sprite Elf, 1 Guard of the Moon, 1 Dehark with 1 Assembled Nightingale, 1 Princess Sprite, 2 Plumpies, 2 copies of Beauty, 1 Happiness with 1 Downward, 2 Nor, 1 Happiness, and 1 copy of Zeus. And you got 1 more Dragon, 1 Genius, 2 copies of Denko, 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 1 Construct, 1 App Clone, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Thrust, 2 Shaddoll Fusion, and triple copies of Evenly Matched here. Wrapping up, well, a whole lot of very interesting things. I'm actually very happy to see Vanquish Soul actually get off the ground this week and actually kind of showcase that there's a lot more than we really expect out here. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.